And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of the broadcast. As we've been going through non-stop all-ins here so far in the OSC Elite Rising Star 17.5 Day 3. Again, this is a tournament for up-and-coming players, for players that are looking to break out and break through into the upper echelons of pro scene. And again, hyper-aggression all around. We have yet to experience a standard game. It hasn't happened yet, but I believe, I have faith here in our next series. We're going to be loading into a PvZ between Mute and MiniZerg. Mute, of course, nowadays I would say is the best Protoss player in Latino America. He did rise up through the ranks 2 years ago at this point, around 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And did kind of make a splash in the scene, even popping off against some top Koreans as well, taking down players like Classic, for example, and taking down players like Cure as well. He has had some moments of brilliance, I will say, from the side of Mute. At the same time, at MiniZerg, he's a newer face to the scene. I say newer face, he's been around a little bit longer. He's been kind of permeating and kind of like bubbling under the surface, but more recently broke into GM, and more recently has been devoting more time to competing, more time to playing, more time to performing, and that the results do prove that as well. Like, he has been steadily improving over the past couple of months. And here we go as we are getting into our fresh series, as we're going to be loading into our PvZ. And again, I'm expecting and hoping for a bit of a calmer back and forth here and settling into the mid game at some point. We'll see. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the teal Protoss player, the Peruvian Protoss, representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Mute. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Ukrainian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Hokago T Team. It is MiniZerg. Here we go. Go back with 30 seconds till soon TM. Let's go. Let all the all-ins continue. I mean, again, it's been non-stop all-ins tonight, but I expect to see something more standard. Winding it back, Mute, he typically is more mid-game oriented. He is typically more mid-game oriented, playing more standard, playing more macro-centric instead. Meanwhile, I will say that MiniZerg I am less familiar with, because MiniZerg has only recently, over the past like 6 months, really like popped off in the scene and really shown a little bit more promise in the scene as well. I haven't had the luxury of casting too much of him just because I don't really cover as many European events. I don't cover Monday Night Weeklies, for example, or I haven't been casting MinoVK's recent tournaments either for the CIS region. So there have been a lot of events going on featuring MiniZerg, but I just haven't really been too privy to them, except for this event actually. And fun fact, he has started signing up for the Sparkling Tuning Cups as well, which is really cool to see. So again, he has been playing in more, competing in more. I just haven't been able to showcase or broadcast his matches until now. So let's go. So so what I'm getting at is I'm not exactly aware as to his preferred playstyle. Not yet. This is when he does nothing but all-ins. It's like, okay. Let's go, let's go. For now, Hatchcat Spool, standard opener out of MiniZerg. Never expect on the macro maps, right? True. I mean, we are loading into 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Smaller map, shorter rush distance, so some all-ins can be favored here. We can see Mute being as annoying as possible, tasing away at the mineral line, tasing away at the gas mining workers, but does pull out. It does pull out. From here, we are going to be opening up. We're expecting a Stargate opener out of MiniZerg. Yep, there, sorry, out of Mute, I meant to say. There's a Stargate. Coming down. So Stargate to Oracle. The Stargate has been thrown down behind the mineral line, so there is a chance that this could be Void Ray first, or if not, Oracle into Void Ray. You can see here that the initial unit is rallied to the Overlord as well, so it looks like a Void Ray based opener. It would make sense based on the placement. Would make sense. And then from there we can hide some tech. We could hide some tech, but we'll get there once if we do confirm said Void Ray. As we open up Double Adept, MiniZerg claiming his third, joining up, and if there is the Void Ray. So this is why the Stargate was thrown down behind the mineral line, and of course why the rally is here towards the Overlord. Now, after said Void Ray, we can throw down a second Stargate, we can throw down a Fleet Beacon, we can throw down a Twilight Council, we can hide tech. I mean, we've already seen a lot of that earlier in the broadcast, especially from MiniZergUA. If you remember, he went Void Ray into triple Stargate Mass Phoenix, or he went Void Ray into triple Stargate Mass Void. Like, he was crazy. So there are a lot of possibilities here, or this could even lead into a standard game as well. True. You can just try to mind game your opponents, kill the Overlord, and just take your third base and just go into +1 and blink. Like, you can just play standard as well. The point, though, is that you're keeping your opponents in the dark. Now, what is the downside of opening up Void Ray? Well, you have less oracles. Oracles, they're ideal when it comes to scouting, when it comes to harassing, when it comes to the utility they provide. They are greater than that. They're superior than the Void Ray. The Void Ray, all that it really does compared to the Oracle is hunt down Overlords. Hunt down Overlords and deny vision. Otherwise, it's more clunky, it's less mobile, less effective against mass Zergling run-bys and counterattacks. And there it is, early council. Okay, he is hiding tech. So early Twilight Council out of mute. Because this council's early, ooh, going for the Forge. I'm leaning towards charge. I'm leaning towards early charge and +1. We'll see. This feels too early for Blink, to be honest. But we'll keep an eye on mute. Lings are deflected. We have the early Eva Chamber, +1 melee into Ling Hydra. Safety Bailiness as well, so MiniZerg is playing standard. He's going into Ling Hydra. That is what he's kind of telegraphing here. Often players skip their Bailiness, but here we're getting a safety Bailiness just in case it is Adepts. Assuming we tag up. Uh-oh. Yeah, Adepts they bust into the mineral line. A drone's going to be going down. No Spore at the third. Yeah, there's no Spore in position. Queens, they do kill the Void Ray at least, but that's going to be 4 dead workers. Yeah, 4 or 5. Oh my god, it's racking up. 8 drones go down. Critical damage here at the third base. The Oracle does slip away. The Oracle slips away, even getting a stasis trap on 3 drones as well. So nice damage here at the third base. Again, the Queens, they were kept busy here by the Void Ray. And it is +1 and blink. Never mind. I thought it was too early here for blink, but no, it is going to be blink and +1. Standard follow-up, getting into our gateways. We'll keep an eye on the gateway count. Technically, another reason as to, no, never mind. I was going to say another reason as to why this could be early is for a 3-base 8-gate all-in, but seeing this Temple Archives is an indication of a longer game. So he's not going for an all-in. It is more or less a standard follow-up. But Mute has found a lot of damage. A lot of damage. The Oracle is still active, and from here we can take up in towards Archons, in towards Storm. Seems I bring back smaller maps. I'm sick of watching 10-minute max outs. It sounds like you just tuned in. Potentially. Because for the past 2 hours it's been non-stop cheese. This is the first time we're calming down into a longer macro game. The first time, I mean the first time. But yes, it's been 2 hours of non-stop all-ins for the for the broadcast so far. But again, finally we're just calming down. Storm is on the way. Getting ready for a 4th base, taking gases. Oh, nice thing run by though. Yeah, Link's taking into the mineral line. Probe's going to be going down. Getting up to 8 probe kills already. Nicely done. At the same time though, MiniZergUA will lose his 4th. Does surround these Stalkers though. And we spoke about this earlier. There's only 1 Oracle. Yeah, there's only 1. Minimal support for the Stalkers. Mentioned at the start of this game, this is the downside of going for a Void Ray, and all these Stalkers are being hunted down. Oh god, he can keep going. I could keep going. Despite that, did catch half the Stalkers. Better trade for MiniZerg. Better trade for the Zerg player. Mute's losing too much. Yeah, with MiniZerg, he can stabilize back at home, getting his own double expanding, getting his 4th and 5th base. Ooh, the Oracle gets hunted down. Now there's 0 Oracles left on the map. And from here we can tech up. We can go for a pit, into a hive, into lurkers. Where does MiniZerg take us? Likewise, Mute is turtling up. After all his losses, he's showing now more cannons, more shield batteries. At this point, he has to be more defensive. And slowly get a 4th base. And MiniZerg does scout. Does scout, does confirm. Does confirm. But yeah, I would say like there are a lot of smaller maps in this current map pool. There's 10,000 feet, for example. There's Ruby Rock. There's Tourmaline. Those three do stand out. There's a reason why we haven't been seeing a lot of maxed out late game like armies. I would say that we have been seeing that in TVP. True. But we've seen a lot more shorter games in PvZ specifically. I think an example of that, we casted Max versus Solar last night in a best of 5, and Solar all-in every single game. except for the final game. True. Game 5. The ace match, Solar did not all in. But every other game, it's non-stop all-ins. Oh, nice storms. I do recommend it if you missed it. Solar versus Max from last night. Meanwhile, we just see Mute turtling up, trying to rush into Sky Toss. MiniZerg, his goal here should try to kill him before that happens. Storm does zone away. Storm does zone back. Decent storms here on the Hydras as well. We're running out of Ling Bane. At the same time, there's only one storm left. That was the final storm. NG overcharged. Yeah, NG overcharged. Another storm lands. But again, Mute, he's running out of storms, running out of High Templar. The final Templar is going to be hunted down. We need more Ling Bane, though. And the Hydras are exposed. Ugh. MiniZerg, he barely doesn't have enough. Just barely. And MiniZerg, he's still going. And fun fact, he never threw down an Infestation Pit. There's no pits, there's no hive, there's no lurker den. MiniZerg is all in. He's committed with purely a lair tech composition. So he's stuck with a mid-tier army, and the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Mute. So Mute is outscaling MiniZerg. And here comes the second round, the second wave. He's collapsing in. They're trying to collapse in, head for the mineral line. Does get both High Templar. Nicely done. Very nice connections. Both Templar go down. The Archon's going to be targeted. But we need more Zerglings. We need more Lings back. As the Hydras, they self-support, they catch up the Immortal. Has he done it? Gets the Immortal. More Lings are coming. Yeah, he has. Yeah, MiniZerg, he has finally done it. He has broken Mute. Tempest are trickling in. Ooh, massive warping though. Uh-oh. Yeah, massive warping of Zealots. Mute collapsing in from behind. Mute is holding. He's holding on. Cleans up all the Hydras. Shuts down the Lings. Oh, the Tempest is exposed. Never mind. Ah, MiniZerg, he does it. Yeah, he has broken the Protoss. The fourth base is going to go down, and with that MiniZerg, he will break our Protoss player. He still has more Tempest on the way. He's trying to build up into more Tempest. But again, he barely didn't have enough here. It was close. It was close. Very close. And MiniZerg, he's still rallying. Still rallying. Still committing. So we have 11 more Hydras on the way. Again, we did see some brutal storms, but what's important is that Mute could never retain his High Templar. Every time the Templar that were going down, they were being reset. Could not retain that army. MiniZerg, he starts stepping in. There are still a couple of storms. Oh no! Yeah, there's one storm. Only one. Only one. As Mute, he needed more time for more energy. More Lings are flooding in. Nice concave here with the Hydras. They collapse on the Zealots. The Templar still needs a little bit more time. Nah, it goes down. And with that, MiniZerg takes the lead in the series. GG gets called, and MiniZerg takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. MiniZerg gaining a little momentum early on in the game, winding him back. Remember, Mute, he was being hyper aggressive with his stalkers, and he got caught out in the center. He was surrounded, he was shut down. Initially, I would say the early game was in favor of Mute, killing all those killing all those drones. He was able to get a lot of economic damage, but then he was overly aggressive with his stalkers. He got caught out in the open. He bled out a good chunk of 8, 9, 10 stalkers. He lost map control, and then he was stuck at home. He was forced to turtle up back at home, and we saw that he could barely not defend against the all-in of MiniZerg. I say all in, it was a 4-base all in. We saw 85, 86 drones. That is true, high drone count, but no tech. Like, there was no further tech. If MiniZerg failed to break the 4th expansion, then the Skytoss would outscale. Then Mute, he would outscale, he would outpace, and then he would just snowball out of control from there. So MiniZerg, he had to break the 4th, and he barely did. Barely did break the 4th base. GG, well played, and with that, we are now going to be getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Mute can bounce back. We'll see if MiniZerg can keep this going. Let's go. Let's go. And do we ever get into like a macro game? Do we? Do we ever get into a late game? We'll see. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the Peruvian Protoss player. We have the Teal Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports. Down in the series, we'll see if you can bounce back. It is Mute. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player representing Hokago T Team. It is MiniZergUA. Here we go. Este MiniZerg. So we're going to be calming down, loading into Title Citadel. Title Citadel is a larger map of the map pool, larger map, longer rush distance by ground. One of the reasons why the hyper-aggressive all-in from MiniZerg did work last game and why he eventually broke through was because of the size of the map. We did mention it previously, but 10,000 feet, which was game 1, is the smallest map in the map pool. So I should say the shortest rush distance by ground in the entire map pool. So rallies and reinforcements hit even harder, hit even faster, allow you to overwhelm with that non-stop rally. So MiniZerg was able to break through. It will be more difficult to achieve that same amount of damage, that same amount of momentum here on Title Citadel. It will be more difficult. The bases are a little bit more defendable, but they are spread out. We've seen it many times here, but it can be difficult as the defending player to rotate and keep up with aggressive movements and aggressive rotations from your opponent. Your linear third base and your triangular third base are actually very, very spread apart. They're very spread apart, they're very spread thin. So map awareness and map control and map vision is paramount here on Title Citadel to be able to be in position in time, to be able to keep up with your opponent. As the bases are much more spread out compared to the map we were just on, compared to 10,000 feet, or most other maps really. So we'll see how Mute will adjust his approach. Opening up Stargates. Based on the placement here, it's looking more like a standard triple Oracle opener, but we'll see. Remember last game, he threw down the pylon behind his middle line, and that led into a Void Ray opener. This time with the pylon being further out is more indicative of additional Oracles, but we'll see. We shall see. As the Stargate is on the way, MiniZerg does pull out of gas, droning up. The other factor of Title Citadel, of course, is the gold base. There's a gold expansion on the left-hand side, so whoever gains map control can take control of that gold. In ZVP, that typically falls on the Zerg player. Typically. So now we're building up. Oracle is on the way. And from here, Mew can expand, and then we'll see his tech of choice. We'll keep an eye on the timing of the Twilight Council and the Forge. Keep an eye on it. Tempest was a terrible idea. Well, the rationale for the Tempest, one, he was behind, but the goal there was to try to skip tech. It's basically being greedy, right? It's being greedy, skipping tech and trying to rush into Skytoss. It was a risk, it was a gamble that Mute had gone for. Obviously, it is safer to go Colossus. That is true. It is safer to do so. But the goal wasn't to be safe, the goal was to kind of take a lead, right? To take a chance and to get ahead. And again, that would have worked against a standard opponent or a standard build. But remember, MiniZerg was going for an all-in, if you recall. So sure, hindsight, you can say that like, oh, playing more defensive would have worked out well there. That is true. But alas, was lacking that information. For now, once again, early Eva Chamber and Ducklings on melee. So once again, we have the same build, the same opener out of MiniZerg. Same opener. This time we have double orc hitting the third base. Queen is a position, Spore as well. Gets one drone. Just one worker. Back at home, Mute, he's going for a standard follow-up. Twilight Council on the Forge, most likely +1 on Blink. Charge is available though, and oh, he does go into charge. Okay, so we have a much more aggressive build here. And I would like this if MiniZerg was playing standard, but he's playing safer than that. He's getting a safety Baneling Nest. Remember, last game he didn't even make any Banelings, because you don't want to. Ideally, you don't really want to make any Banelings. Actually, no, to be fair, he had some Banelings in this aggressive push. True. But typically you want to be skipping Banelings. But he does get him for safety, and it's going to be ready here for charge. So again, MiniZerg playing safe. The Oracles, they confirm the Baneling Nest. Mute is aware. Gateway Explosion's on the way. And Mute, he can still pull this off. So when it comes to the timing, when it comes to the push we're about to see, we should be seeing a Warp Prism, Archons. Ideally, the Archons, you want them to tank the Banelings, shut down the Banelings, and then have the Zealots flood in. You want to make sure you do not A-move in with your Zealots, otherwise you will just run into a wall of Banelings and lose them all. So you have to be very careful. You have to babysit your Zealots, and deal with the Banelings first, and then flood forward. Assuming there are any Banelings to defend, true. MiniZerg is taking up, and MiniZerg, he is not yet aware of the build. He's not yet aware of what's going on. He needs to scout. So ideally, MiniZerg fans out with some Zerglings. Oh, speaking of, okay. Ideally, he fans out with the Lings to see the Warpins and to confirm what kind of army is being built. If he sees extra Stalkers, then he knows it's Blink. If he sees extra Zealots or an Archon, then he knows it's Charge or Archon instead. MiniZerg does break forward. He sees the Prism. Yeah, Prism gets spotted. Or he's suspicious. Hydras are amassing. And here come the charge lots. No Banelings are ready yet. MiniZerg, did he see the Prism? Oh, he might not have. Yeah, he might not have seen this. Mute is moving in, catching a Queen already. It does catch a Queen, does catch all the Zerglings as well. Yeah, Ling's getting called out, and that means there are no defensive Banelings. Yeah, they're not ready yet. Mute is pushing in. We have 8 Banelings now morphing in, but they're late. The Banelings are late. Mute is pushing. They're warping in 8 Zealots at a time. Hitting the third base. And the Banelings do complete. They rush forward. Oh no! Ooh. Pulls back just in time. Oh no! Pulls back, but takes too many hits. Takes too much hits, too much damage here. The Zealots go down, and with that MiniZerg, he shuts this down, and Mute has to get the hell out of here. He's racing back home. Behind this, warping in 10 Zealots at a time. Storm is on the way. But we spoke about it. You have to babysit those Zealots. You cannot have them move in. Not against Banelings. And MiniZerg holds. Ooh, MiniZerg, he does hold on. There was potential there for Mute. Initially, he was doing damage. And again, imagine a world where there wasn't a Baneling Nest. True, like that's what we were mentioning before. It is not standard to get a Baneling Nest like this, but MiniZerg was playing safe. He had access to Banelings, and shut it down. Shut it down. And with that, now Mute is in a rough position here. Mute, he's trying to stabilize on 3 bases, working towards a 4th base, turtling up. But again, he was very committed, and he invested quite heavily here into that charge timing. Now, because of the very heavy Archon Zealot composition here, I would want to see MiniZerg tech up. Not just drone, he's getting up to 82 workers, just like last time, but I don't see an infestation pit. I wouldn't be opposed to lurkers, right? Lurkers from here would be ideal. I'm not too confident in Lingbane Hydra. There we go. Pit's on the way. This is late. This could have been thrown down like a minute ago, so this is late, but I appreciate that it's on the way. MiniZerg, he himself has recognized that he most likely cannot end the game. I say that, we're passing by each other. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're passing by each other. We have 17 Banelings on the way. Storm is coming in. There's 3 Eye Templar, 3 Storms. Oh, forcing out 2. There's 1 Storm left. Oh, the flanking Storm though. Do you get a flanking Storm? There's that final Storm with the main army. But there are so many Hydras left over. And MiniZerg, he breaks through the rocks. He's pushing up into the natural, and we do see the Protoss player out of position. And Muti responds. Muti's rotating over. Again, I believe he's out of storms. There are... Yeah, there's a tempo on the left. Okay, there's 1 storm. There's 1 storm available. Does land on the Hydras. Nice storm. But there's no other follow-up here. Banelings are rolling on in. They go for the High Templar. They connect with the Zealots. Zealots go down. Templar forces more from the Archons, and MiniZerg, he's done it. Yeah, MiniZerg, he has done it. He comes in, he shuts down the army, collapsing on the Archons. At the same time, drones are going down, but it doesn't matter. GG gets called. MiniZerg, he breaks the 4th base, and MiniZerg will take a lead in the series 2-0. GG. Whew, GG, well played. I was expecting us to get into a longer game, but I was also expecting Mute to be defensive. I was expecting Mute to just turtle up, be defensive, throw down cannons, shield batteries, and stay on his 4 bases. Mute, he moved out. So he got caught out in the open, forced out storms, forced out a more rough and inefficient engagement, and we even saw that MiniZerg was able to break down those rocks and now position his opponent, pushing up the ramp and forcing the Protoss to push into the Zerg defensively. GG. GG, well played. So again, Mute being a little bit overly aggressive. I mean, he already had a rough start after the failed charge timing. True. Like, he was already in a rough position, but from there took more chances, took more risks, and with that we're getting into game number 3, loading into Tourmaline. Loading into one of the other smaller maps in the map pool. Aggression is favored here, and we'll see how aggressive our players are going to be. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the Peruvian Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports. Down in the series, can he bounce back? Can he make a series out of this? It is a Mute. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself representing Hokago T-Team. It is MiniZerg. Here we go. And welcome all to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a very small map of the map pool and a very open map as well. Has a massive entrance here into the natural, has an entrance into the 3rd base, entrances into the 4th and 5th. Just very open, very accessible, and as a result of that, aggression is heavily favored here. But we'll see who plans on being the aggressor coming into Tourmaline. Oh boy. Here we go. So far, we've seen MiniZerg play the same every game. He's going for the same build, the same opener, just going for early Eva Chamber into plus on melee, into Baneling Nest, into potentially Ling Bane if he needs to, otherwise just Ling Hydra. But again, he's been playing safe. How does Mute respond? Yeah. So we are going to be building up. And again, we yet to really see Mute get into his own standard setup. Yet to see it. Especially if he scouts an early Baneling Nest again, I would not want to see a charge timing at a Mute. Again, it was very iffy last game as well. And it came down to the army control. It comes down to the control. Otherwise, we are opening up. From here, we're getting to our tech of choice. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of Mute. Stargates into Oracle. We've yet to see any like Glaive Adept aggression, for example, or committed 3-base all-ins. But again, I don't really know if Mute is really that kind of player. We'll see. We have our Stargates, getting into Oracle. Likewise, you should soon be seeing the Evo Chamber out of MiniZerg. We'll be getting there. Outside of that, we're calming things down. The early game is typically more passive here in PvZ. There are less kind of early game options outside of like hyper aggressive ones with like proxy hatcheries or proxy Stargates. They're few and far between. Ooh, and that is a very early Twilight Council for the first time this series. That is a Twilight Council before the 3rd expansion. Okay. So early council. Initially, my mind goes to Glaive Adepts, but we'll see what the follow-up is going to be. How many games are you into? Overlord is going to be hunted down. Denying vision, denying scouting. Once again, Chambers on the way for +1 melee. MiniZerg is going for the same build. And it's going to be a shaky defense here from MiniZerg. Typically, we'd have 2 extra gateways by now. Charge, not glaives. Okay, okay. I do like this out of Mutes here, just because there's no Roach Warren. There's no Roach Warren. Also, we've been praising MiniZerg, every game so far by going for a safety Baneling nest. Where's the nest? He's got the money for it. Does have the money for it. Ooh, he's rushing to a fast 4th base. Uh-oh. 4th base is on the way. Okay, now he throws down the Baneling nest. It's gonna be close. The Zealots are amassing in the main base as we speak. He's building up those Zealots. Banking them up. MiniZerg is fanning out across the map. Going for his lair, taking his gases, still droning, still saturating. If MiniZerg is too greedy, he's going to get caught with his pants down. They do hit the 3rd. They force a reaction. What's important here is that we're still warping in Stalkers. We're not revealing the charge yet. We're not really revealing Zealots. Again, they're still banking up in between the bases. And MiniZerg, he needs to scout this soon. Still doesn't see much. Mute is taking up a little bit further here, going towards Archons and +1. So he's still taking. He's not all in. Zealots are moving out. Still 0 defensive Banelings. MiniZerg, he hasn't seen this. And that's a lot of Zealots. Jesus. Okay. And we'll see when MiniZerg gets eyes on the army. As so far, MiniZerg, he has seen nothing. He has 20 Lings on the way. The Lings will help. Hydrogen is still in production. 0 Banelings. The army gets spotted. Now he knows. Yeah, now he sees. Now he knows instantly. We have 8 Banelings morphing in. But it's too late. The army has arrived. Does bust into the 3rd. Yeah, drone's going to be going down. Meanwhile, the Banelings are amassing. There's 16 Banelings on the way. He needs more time. Yeah, Banelings do crash in. We get an okay spread here from Mute. That spreads out the Zealots. Banelings will clean up. And MiniZerg, he will hold. MiniZerg, he will hold, but he's going to lose too much. Oh my god, so many drones go down. 23, 24. 24 drone kills. MiniZerg's economy is crippled. Yeah, losing 2 mineral lines worth of workers. Ay, ay, ay. And again, this is just because of the late Banelings, right? Late Banelings, late realization, late scouts. MiniZerg, he was caught with his pants down. And Mute takes a lead. Mute does take a lead. High Templar are amassing. Storm is almost done. MiniZerg, he has a lot of redroning to do, and I don't really like the idea of redroning here. I mean, saturating a third base, sure, but MiniZerg, he has to get some counter damage done. He needs to be aggressive. Macroing from here, he's just playing from behind. We'll see. As Mute does push forward, claiming a fourth base. Fourth base is on the way. Building up more Templar, building up more Storms. MiniZerg does run up to 84, and at this point, I would imagine that MiniZerg will not take up. Again, I am opposed to the idea of going into an infestation with a Lurker Den from here, so he's just massing up with pure Lingbane Hydra. Ideally, MiniZerg is able to engage with Mute as Mute pushes onto Creep, but Mute is ahead, and Mute should stay defensive. He should turtle up. Should just turtle up, get cannons, shield batteries, throw down a fleet beacon, build up in a Sky Toss, just defend on 4 bases. He's being active though. This does give MiniZerg some opportunities to surround. Speaking of, Zelda just rushed into Bailings. A nice start here for MiniZerg. Storms, 3 of them to get thrown down. 4 storms, they do miss. Oh my god, 1 storm finally connects. That was a lot of storms being wasted. And Mute, he panicked. Yeah, Mute, he did panic. He did spend all of his storms at the same time going for a counter attack. That does force MiniZerg back home. Does force him back. But you could see the panic storms. Like, he was like, ah. Yeah, no. Better storm towards the end. Very nice storms. Oh my god, now they're connecting. Now they do connect. But alas, Mewtwo will lose this army. At the same time, pushing forward here on the left-hand side. Through the center. No storms left. Yeah, no storms remaining. With that MiniZerg, he will bleed out 12 more drones. But he can chase. He can chase. He can catch the Archon. Expensive losses here for Mute. Mute, he's down to 0 Archons and 0 High Templar. It's mainly a gateway composition. It does get a Queen. And MiniZerg, all he's really missing here are Bailings. So now he's distracted by the War Prism. Mute is being given time here to rebuild. Remember, Mute has the better economy. And he's massing up a more terrifying army here. Yeah, MiniZerg, he had to counterattack. The problem is the War Prism. It's keeping him at home. The Prism is keeping him distracted. Can he break the bases? What do we have? 5 Templar. 5 Templar, at least 5 Storms. Main does roll in. They're the first 2. First 2 Storms. We have at least 3 left. And at the same time, Zelda do get across the map. They hit the 4th, they hit the 5th. The drones are going down. MiniZerg, he races back home. And Mute has momentum. He's pushing right through the center of the map. He knows. He has momentum. Tells them the first storm. Once again, we're being a little bit trigger happy here. But it's fine. It should be fine. 10 drones go down. And again, MiniZerg's being outscaled. He's still lacking Bailings. We have more Zealots warping in. Mass Zealot will just overwhelm, will just overpower. Here, 16 Bailings are morphing in. Looks like they will finish. Okay. They are going to finish. Here comes the Sky Toss. So, second Stargate, Fleet Beacons on the way. MiniZerg collapsing, and he wants those High Templar. He wants them. Oh my god, massive storm. Okay, Storm does connect. Jeez, we have so many arc. So we're running out of High Templar. He's running out. Once again, Isaiah run by is getting 8 more drones, catching reinforcements, forcing the Zerg army all the way back home. And Mew's pushing in. And we can see MiniZerg now going for the lurker, and it's too late. It's too late for lurkers. It's too little too late. MiniZerg is being overwhelmed. Archons, they start to step forward. They catch at the mineral line. Hydras are exposed. And there's no support. Hydras, they melt on their own. GG gets called, and Mute, he does overpower. He does take a game. We have a series. Whew. GG, well played. He does put a point on the board. Again, MiniZerg, he just had a very rough early to mid game. We spoke about it, but MiniZerg, he lost so many drones to the early Zealot push. He lost, what, 20, was it 24? 24 drones went down. It was insane damage, critical damage, and he never recovered. He never quite recovered. He tried to re-drone, resaturate, and get into a mass 4-base, like 85 drone Lingbane Hydra setup. But again, he was just being outscaled over time because his opponent had a better economy. The reality is that Mute had the better economy, had the better army as well. There were a couple of shaky moments, like we mentioned, when we saw like the panic storms out of Mute, and we saw a little bit of miscontrol out of that. But overall, he was still in a commanding position. And GG. GG, well played. Did outscale. And with that, we're getting into game number 4. Game 4. And we'll see if Mute can force the ace match. We'll see if MiniZerg can claim it here and now. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Peruvian Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Ping Pong Exports. Putting a point on the board and making a series out of this, it is Mute. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player, we have the Ukrainian Zerg representing Hokkaido T Team. It is MiniZerg. Here we go. So yeah, getting into game number 3. Sorry, game number 4. Whew. Okay, and we now take a break here from Tourmaline. Tourmaline, again, was one of the smaller maps. That's why we saw so much aggression, so many run-bys, so much chaos, and so much action in that last game. Here, we can slow things down on the Old Republic. Again, a larger map, longer rushes to spy ground, more defendable 3 bases. The 4th base is more exposed, but your 3-base setup here is a little bit safer here, and this is a more ideal map for Mute to be more defensive on. Do you see some comments in the chat once again about Colossus? Colossus, they do slow down the Protoss player, and it does allow for a more defensive style. Clearly, we saw that Mute knew he was ahead and he wanted to press that advantage. I will say, though, on a map like the Old Republic, this does kind of allow for more defensive, more slower play, like robo-heavy play, for sure. I can definitely see that working here, assuming that MiniZerg plays Lingbane Hydra again. We'll see. We shall see. Mute is building up. But the reality is as well that we have seen that Mute's transition after the mid-game has been to go into Sky Toss, not to further his mid-game. So it may just not be fond of robo-heavy play. But we'll find out this game. Find out on the Old Republic. For now, Hatch Gas Pool, claiming a 3rd. Now, what I will say about MiniZerg is that we have yet to see any real variety from MiniZerg. He has been going Lingbane Hydra every game so far, and you can vary it up. You can go into early Roach play. You can skip the Eva Chamber, skip the Manus, and go into a laying out Hydra all in. You can be more aggressive, more assertive. You can play Muta play as well. You can get into Mutas. But so far, MiniZerg has been very much so one note. Oh, never mind. Hello, Lings are coming. Yeah, Lings are coming across the map. We do have a proxy hatchery being set up here by MiniZerg. He's coming in with the drone. It does move in. Hatchery gets thrown out. And just as I'm criticizing MiniZerg for being a little bit one note, he does cheese. He does go for the all-in. Let's go. Proxy hatch across the map. Ling Flood is coming. We're not droning. We're not saturating. So far, the Adept does see some Lings. Doesn't see all of them yet. Yeah, last Mute is still playing a little bit blind. But he does spot the queens. Yeah, the queens, they should not be out here. So he knows. He should be aware we need shield batteries. We need batteries back at home. Again, does spot the all-in coming. We need batteries. Ah, where are they? Getting another expansion. There we go. We have one battery on the way. Spots the proxy. The oracles are also in production. And MiniZerg needs time. Sorry, I should say Mute. Mute does need time. He does fully roll off. Nice setup. And we'll have Sword Eps. Picking away at the army. The Cybercore does get surrounded though. And the Cybercore, does he deny Warp Gate? No shot. Warp Gate is going to be denied. The Oracle comes in, but cannot save the Cybercore. Where's the Pulsar Beam? Where's the Pulsar Beam? That's a late reaction, late activation. Lings, they pop off. Nice time for one of the drones. But does go for the queen here. We'll bring it down. True, no transfuse. Yeah, no transfuse. Queen goes down. Batteries are finishing. But he has to warp in Zealots. He has to warp in defensive Zealots. Gateway goes down as well. Oof. Oracle falls. MiniZerg's gaining ground. We have a Void Ray on the way. And remember, Warp Gate was denied. That's huge. Like, that might just be game. Like, sure, we have 2 gateways, but he cannot warp in. Cybercore is rebuilt. Warp Gate has restarted. And MiniZerg, he is pushing through. Spine Crawlers are coming in. The Spine Rush is coming, Pat. It's coming. And the wall is going to be broken. There's no saving this. Both gateways go down. There's a Spore in position. Void Ray is being targeted. Does get one of the Spine Crawlers, but it's too late. Yeah, oh god. The Spine Crawler survives. And the wall has been broken. Lings, they flood into the natural. Boys are being pulled, and Mute, he's being shut down again. He just had a late scout, a late reaction, an under reaction as well. As all was happening, failed to save the Cybercore. And failed to defend. Oh, here we go, Glaives. Very ambitious. Oh, the Artosis pylon. GG gets called, and MiniZerg, he will claim the series 3-1, taking down Mute. GG. Whew. GG, well played with that. MiniZerg, he does claim the series. My apologies here. My condolences to Mute. Mute, he did go far in this event, did make it here to face off against MiniZerg. But again, we did see a bit of a more chaotic play here by MiniZerg. I say chaotic, we saw a lot of all-ins. We did see that on 10,000 feet, for example, with Mute trying to turtle up and trying to defend into Sky Toss, but he was shut down before he could get there. Did see some more variety out of Mute going into these early charge timings with some mixed results. I'm still thinking about the game on Title Citadel, where he ran into a wall of banelings and lost all the Zealots and lost momentum. Here in the final game, I do appreciate the most though that MiniZerg did actually vary things up. He went for the same build and the same style 3 games in a row, but here in game 4 did mix it up and go for some cheese and go for an all-in. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to MiniZerg. It does claim the series and does advance on. Este MiniZerg. Pros really boys? I mean, sure. Pull the boys, Pappy, pull the boys. Technically, I guess they're nothing. I mean, they're robots, but it's fine. Here we go. We're getting into our next series. We're getting into our fresh best of 5. We have 1 series left here in the broadcast. So it is going to be a PvP between Jumi and Letalix. Oh boy, Letalix, he took down MJG earlier, and we'll see how he compares to Jumi, as Jumi is one of the more favorite players in the bracket. Let's go. Let us go.